Welcome to this Easter edition of the Kahnawake COVID Task Force update. It is April 12th. Glad to be here with you. This was a very nice day today. As a matter of fact, I had an opportunity to get out to the Kahnawake Island and try a little bit of fishing, get some fresh air, and had no luck with the fish, but I'm glad to see that everywhere I looked, people were certainly respecting the physical distancing, and taking note of that. It's good to see that Kahnawake, we are paying attention, we are abiding by what has to be done to protect ourselves. So hats off to everybody. As well as I see people getting creative. I think it was Trisha Laborn had organized a mobile Easter hunt around the community, which was very successful. So again, hats off to you and people like you who are being very creative in this troubling time. I know it's difficult for everybody, but finding a way to be creative and have a little bit of fun and is something, I guess, that helps us all get through this tough time. Certainly challenging, with Easter and the young kids, wanted to do the Easter egg hunts and stuff, and I'm sure people were being creative. I know in my household we had Easter eggs on the ground, and the adults were on the deck watching, and the kids were on the ground, looking for the eggs, and so trying to find a way to still have that Easter feeling, but as well as obviously respecting the family units and respecting the physical distancing. So I know it's challenging. I know it's hard for everybody, especially for young children who don't really understand, what the physical distance means and the purpose of it. But we do our best and we try as best as we possibly can. No, but overall, Kahnawake, we are on the right track. We are keeping our numbers, and very, very low. We're in line with what's happening in and around Quebec. But as I mentioned the other day, I mean, we are still on the beginning of that wave. In Quebec, they're expecting a surge in the numbers of fatalities over the next couple of weeks, which is unfortunate. And if you look at the numbers of deaths, that's unfortunately what is happening at this point in time. There's approximately 40 deaths per day. It's on an increase, but as well as the number of deaths is accelerating. So some of the predictions that they seem to be making are starting to roll out, and they're expecting to see a peak at around April 18th, 19th, somewhere in that area. So roughly about a week from now, looking at reaching that peak. Again, once it reaches that peak, it'll hopefully level off, at a certain point, and then gradually start decreasing. So in the next little while, again, stay the course. We're doing well. As I say, every show we're constantly monitoring what's happening in and around the community, and we'll make any adjustments as we need to ensure the safety, security of our community. With that said, I have with me here today the director of the Kahnawake Education Center, Robin Delaronde, and she's here to give you an update on some of the latest developments happening in and around the education. So here's Robin.
I'm pleased to be here once again. It's been quite a while that I've been able to have the opportunity to share with the community on what's occurring currently out of Kahnawake, within the province, and also within the community. I'd first like to start with post-secondary education. It's been something that I haven't been able to share the last time, but we are at a point where many of the post-secondary institutions are closing up and things are finalizing. I know that in terms of our post-secondary clients within Kahnawake, we have had them keeping quite in touch with either the post-secondary counselors or with their respective institutions that they attend. And many of them have been able to continue to have their online courses, and that is currently going to be wrapping up, as I had said. One of the things that I did want to address is that many of our post-secondary students do go on. This is the time of year where either they are seeking out summer student employment and so forth. And I would just like to say that, like everything else, there's a lot of uncertainty in terms of what type of employment summer students will be able to seek. But I would like to say and reassure that we still are moving on as though everything is norm in terms of this post-secondary team working with DEWA, Dewa Summer Student Employment, to begin the process. So that should things change, that there will be some possibilities for summer employment for our students. So please, we'll keep you updated in terms of how things are progressing there. If things should be able to open up and students can apply for some of the positions in and around the community. I'd also like to, at this time, talk about Spotlight on Learning, which is a newsletter that the Kahnawake Education Center has been putting out. It's going to be having the 3rd volume coming out this Monday. It has been put together by the Kahnawake Education Center curriculum team, and we are really proud, once again, of that newsletter. The curriculum team has worked really hard to put together a newsletter that really focuses on the cultural teachings and knowledge that the Kahnawake Education Center Foundation is built upon for our students' learning. And with that, they also have other elements and specific resources parents can go in, whether it's online learning for novels, for reading, for science, math, French, and Kahnawake. I looked briefly at the new newsletter that's going to be going out on Monday, and this coming Monday there'll be a focus on lacrosse and the teachings, because it's that time of the year that we would be now going into if we weren't facing this pandemic. But it is a beautiful newsletter with a lot of resources related to that theme. The 3rd item I really want to talk about is, and really have to say it's really been a success, is the online learning that the Kahnawake Survival School has embarked upon. It's the first go at this, and I have to say that in our online learning for our 10s and 11s, I have to say that the reports that we got back is that we've had a 90% success rate with students accessing this online learning platform. And I have to say that we are really proud of this. We're thankful to both parents and students for taking the time and really understanding the seriousness of their education and accessing these tools and resources, and to thank the teachers as well who've been partaking and offering support and services in their respective disciplines. One of the things we look at and we are looking at is that online learning is important right now, but the Education Center and Kahnawake Survival School saw that online learning was going to be, obviously is important, and we were fortunate enough to have accessed and already purchased Chromebooks for our students. So we're really fortunate that we already had a ploy of technology to service them right away. The other area I know that many parents and we as well are concerned about and discussing currently is the type of progress and the year-end remarks that students will get. And we are working really hard to discuss this. We are looking at what are some options, how would we respond and share student progress to our elementary school parents and students, as well as to high school. So that is one of the big areas that we are focused on. We also have contacts with the province in the ministry, and we are also keeping up to date in terms of what they are planning to do as well in terms of progress reports and so forth. And we will get back to you shortly in terms of deciding, how that will be relayed. The other area, I know we're fast approaching the date where it was determined that there would be closures up to May for all of the schools in and around Kahnawake as well as Kahnawake. And with that, we're anticipating what would the next phase look like if the school year was once again going to be continue to be closed after May. So we are in the plans to look at, in terms of that phase, what would education look like, what would we be doing, what would our educators be doing, and how would we be planning also for September, for the onset of the new school year as well. So I really want to reassure you that we're looking at all scenarios. We're looking at the current scenario that our students and our families are facing, and we're also looking at the next phase in terms from now till the end of the year, as well as looking at the onset of the new school year. The other schools, I just want to say that in the community, we have other schools as well. We have the Indian Way, Gariwanordu Adult Ed, and I know that if you are a parent or a student attending there as well, I know that they've been keeping in touch with their clientele, with their students and families, to provide supports and to ensure that needs are being met as well. Once again, I've seen a lot of things, just like Lloyd relayed, that we see a lot that's happening. We see parents really making an effort to do what they can do for their children, engaging them, making learning, fun. And we really have to say that we thank you as parents. We thank you for this opportunity to be able to share with others, those of you that have, and that if you have any questions, you have anything that you need in terms of additional supports, if you can visit the KEC website, you'll see access to our emails or call, and we'd be more than willing to help to support you if you need. So for now, this is the update that I have for education. I know that there'll be more coming really soon because of the fact that we're approaching that deadline, and there's going to be a lot of decisions and further information to relay in terms of education. It's also important to know that Kahnawake and as the Ministry of Education, we don't make decisions just on our own. We really are whatever decisions we make have to be guided by health and safety of what we're seeing happening here in Kahnawake and in the province, and we want to make sure that any return to our schools is for the safety of all, for the parents, and obviously for our students. So I thank you for giving me this opportunity to share with you, and I wish those of you who celebrate the Easter, I wish you a happy Easter. Nyawagoa.
Thank you, Robin, and that's well said there at the end, talking about the decisions that are being made within the education sector. Obviously, we consider many factors when making those decisions. The same goes for every decision that is made with the task force. I think that the key message for now is obviously is maintaining the course. We know what direction we have to do. We have to maintain what we're doing. And planning is the key word right at this point. As you've seen, education, they're planning the next step, looking the next few weeks ahead, but also looking beyond. The same thing for the Cattery Hospital. They're looking, okay, what do we have to do in the next 3 or 4 weeks? But what about the next 2 or 3 months? Council, the same thing. So we're planning, for the long haul. But again, obviously, hoping that some of these plans that we're looking for, maybe we'll never need them. And I'll be glad to do all the planning and not have to use certain plans that we're coming up with. So we'll see how things go. Again, for those of you who are getting ready to have supper, enjoy your supper, and have a safe remaining long weekend if you're off. And I'll see you again tomorrow. So, Onigewahi.